Holy crap, folks. People are up in arms over this whole border bill thing, which I've been calling for this thing to be thrown in the trash ever since I first heard about it. I've said it before, we don't need a new border bill. We have all the laws pertaining to the border that we need. The president has the power to shut the border down if he wants to. And yet he gets up and stands in front of the American people and lies and says, I need the power. If I had the power to shut the border down, I would. He says he doesn't have the power. The guy sitting at the top of the executive branch says he doesn't have the power to do something the executive branch is supposed to do. How do you like that, folks? The guy is lying through his teeth. He's senile. He's clearly has dementia. These people that are backing Joe Biden are absolutely insane. That, or they know that somebody else is running the show, because it doesn't make any damn sense, right? But people are up in arms over this damn border bill. The Democrats want their $60 fucking billion to give to Ukraine, and they are pissed off about that. They are really pissed off, and they're trying to make it look like it's over the border stuff, right? Now we've got left-wing media outlet organizations talking about Republicans are the cause of the damn border crisis. What? We got Al Sharpton saying, oh, it's a border crisis, and Republicans are over here playing politics. What? Shut up, dude. Really? Just shut your mouth right now, because the Republicans, well, most of them, some of them, for the past 3 years have been yelling and screaming at the top of their lungs about this damn border, about Biden flinging the doors wide open and just letting anybody and everybody come right on in. And it's been making me mad because we have record numbers of fentanyl, record numbers of all drugs coming across that southern border, right? There's all kinds of destruction. We have human trafficking going on, right? So the Biden administration is facilitating human trafficking, folks. No lie, no joke. Just look at the numbers, look at the stats, and look at exactly what's going on. Everybody that comes across that border illegally does it through a cartel. These cartels are essentially human smuggling rings. They do other stuff too, right? They are the main reason we're getting so many drugs into this country across that southern border. And the Biden administration is like, I can't do nothing about it. Wait a minute. So you mean to tell me that Governor Greg Abbott can do something about it, but the President of the United States can't? Yeah. Everybody can see that that is a lie. That is an outright lie. We also got confirmation on the Trump immunity stuff. That's another big story for today. This is going to open some doors. Of course, it's the appellate court, right? So it's going to go to the Supreme Court. They're going to appeal again. They're going to go to the Supreme Court. You can't have a president not have immunity, right? And then you can't selectively immunize a person from this and not this, right? So if the Supreme Court backs this ruling, then I'm just going to be waiting for some Republican attorney general somewhere, any attorney general somewhere, to go after Barack Obama for the killing of Abdul al-Rahman al-Awlaki. I'm sorry if I screwed that name up, but that's right. Obama murdered a U.S. citizen, a 16-year-old, a teenager, folks, in Yemen with a drone strike. And there's arguments to be made over this, right? It was a drone strike meant to kill somebody else. It was an accident. But just like the Michigan school shooter, his mom got involuntary manslaughter, got convicted of that today, I believe. She didn't do anything. But because he was allowed to get a gun from their house, now she gets involuntary manslaughter charges, right? So Obama killing an American citizen in Yemen, even if it was just an accident, I'm sorry, you get manslaughter charges for that. Involuntary, whatever. I'm sorry. But you can't have a president that's not immune, right? So that would mean that as soon as Joe Biden gets out of office, Now we're going to have some attorney general go after him about documents, about his family's foreign business dealings, right? No, we can't have that. It would be absolute insanity. These people don't know what they're doing. They're so scared to rule in favor of Trump that they're willing to just destroy everything just to make Trump look bad. That is how far these people are willing to go, right? When after January 6th, I was not the biggest supporter of Trump. I was like, he did a good job, but God, man, why? Why did all this have to happen? I was like, I really hoped he would just quietly go away. But then when they started with their damn prosecutions, one after another, I'm like, no. This isn't going to stop, right? It's going to continue. They're going to do this to Trump if they're successful and nobody gets riled up, nobody gets pissed off, nobody fights back. Next thing you know, they're going to be going after other Republicans, right? And it's going to expand. We can't have that. I'm sorry. I'm fully behind Trump now because we have to put this to a stop, folks. No joke. All jokes aside, right? No joke, Jack. What's up, everybody? How the hell's your day going? I hope y'all having a pretty good day. This is Legitical Response. We cover political news. We keep you up to date on exactly what the government is doing, and which is what we're doing today. So, if you want to stay informed and stay in the fight, smash that subscribe button for me. If you don't mind, it would be a big help. Also, turn on your notifications because YouTube isn't going to just post my video up in your feed all the time because YouTube is YouTube, you know. Sometimes they can't help it and sometimes they can help it. But, you know, you turn on your notifications, it'll let you know every time I post a video. So do that for me. It would be a big help. If you also could, right now, look right below the video and smash that like button for me if you don't mind. We already like 6-7 minutes in and I'm just getting started. Let's go ahead and get into the news for today. I can't believe I ranted for that long, right, folks? Tangent news. Telling you, this one is atrocious, but it's to be expected because it's the Biden administration. They're not beyond doing anything. Get it? Amazon censored COVID-19 vaccine books after feeling pressure from Biden White House, documents say. Oh my God. The Biden administration pressured Amazon to censor books related to COVID-19 vaccines in early 2021, citing concerns that the material contained propaganda and misinformation. Internal company emails released by Rep. Jim Jordan appear to show. Thank God for the 118th Congress. If the 118th Congress has done anything, it has flung the door open on the unconstitutional actions of the Biden administration. Matter of fact, the executive branch in general, because it's not just the Biden administration, right? The Biden is ultimately responsible for all this, but it's the deep state, folks. The deep state works for Joe Biden right now. The deep state works for the Democrats. Actually, they work for their own interests. Just so happens most of the time, Democrat interests align with deep state interests, which goes against what a Democrat should be, right? Democrats are supposed to be for the blue collar guy, supposed to be for the small man struggling to pay his bills, supposed to be for the oppressed, right? They're supposed to fight for the people, but they're not. They don't do that these days. They claim to, but they sure as hell don't. That's for damn fact. The documents were obtained by the House Judiciary Committee and the Subcommittee on the Weaponization of the Federal Government via subpoena, Jordan said in a X thread Monday, which he dubbed the Amazon files. So here we go, folks. We had the Twitter files, we had the Meta files, now we got the Amazon files. We had the YouTube files too, but that one didn't blow up because it wasn't nearly as pervasive as some of these other stories. This one's not really all that bad either. Not nearly as bad as the Twitter files were. Of course, the Twitter files covered TikTok and a couple other social media platforms, but let's keep going. Who can we talk to about the high levels of propaganda and misinformation and disinformation of SIC Amazon? Andrew Slavitt, a former White House senior advisor for COVID-19 response, wrote to the online retailer in March 2nd, in a March 2nd, 2021 email released by Jordan. If you search for vaccines under books, I see what comes up, Slavitt wrote in a follow-up message that same day. I haven't looked beyond that, but if that's what's on the surface, it's concerning, right? Who gets to decide what is misinformation and disinformation, right? We can figure out what disinformation is, but who gets to decide what misinformation is? How do you know that it's wrong, right? The government at this very time gave out a lot of misinformation. It was probably disinformation, to be honest, but we're going to go ahead because we can factually say with 100% truth that it was misinformation, but it was probably disinformation. But who decides that, right? Facts change. Science evolves. So what's factual today may be false tomorrow. So who gets to decide these things? And how do we know that these books were being put out as, the ultimate truth, right? Who gets to decide that? Who knows what? Did somebody go through all these books and read all these books out? It just blows my mind that they are willing to shut down speech, all for their damn agenda, all because they want you to take a vaccine. It's crazy, folks. Amazon officials initially balked at performing a manual intervention to remove certain book titles from appearing, arguing that it would be too visible and lead to further scrutiny. We will not be doing any manual intervention today, an email between Amazon executive reads. The team PR feels very strongly that it is too visible and will further compound the Harry Sally narrative, right? Which is getting the Fox News treatment today, apparently, and won't fix the problem long-term because of customer behavior, associates. The Amazon officials whose name is redacted from the email then notes that another individual at the company whose name is also redacted gave very direct guidance to the teams to be boring and not do anything that is visible and will draw more attention. So initially, Amazon was pushing back, saying, "No, let's just sit on our hands for a minute and not do anything." They were trying to do the right thing, right? But the Biden administration bullied them into doing this. They kept putting the pressure on them, and they finally caved, apparently. The email states that a tweak to the bookseller's website that would redirect more customers searching certain keywords to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention website was in the works, and that a screenshot of that change would be sent to the White House. But it warned employees to play coy with the Biden administration about potential further actions. The White House will probably ask why we don't tag the content like Facebook/Twitter do if we aren't taking it down, the Amazon official writes. That is an option being explored, but that we don't want to disclose to avoid boxing in. Amazon defended its book-selling practices in another March 2nd, 2021 internal email, noting that the company's guidelines do not specifically address content about vaccines and that retailers are different than social media communities. A week later, on March 9th, 2021, Amazon met with the White House officials. According to the emails, and the company's top talking points going in was whether the Biden administration wanted books blacklisted by the website or suppressed in search results. Now they get into, what do you want us to do, right? Is the admin asking us to remove books, or are they more concerned about search results, or both, reads a company email. In another email discussing an upcoming negative media story on COVID-19 vaccine books being sold by Amazon, an official acknowledges that the company is feeling pressure from the White House task force on this issue as well. The pressure applied by the Biden administration apparently worked, as the company put anti-vax books under a do not promote order the same day Amazon officials met with the White House. So, there you go. Wow. Caving to the pressure, right? Why? Why not stand up to these people? Why? That's what I don't get. Why are you willing to sell out your customer base, sell out the American people, sell out the Constitution to cave to baseless pressure from the White House? Why not whistleblow the lid right off of this thing and go to the news with it? Go to right-wing news if you've got to, right? Because left-wing news probably wouldn't give a damn because they are right there along with them. The White House says, hey, censor this story. Hunter Biden laptop, censor this story. They say, sorry, yes, sir, coming right up. Do you want us to censor anything else? Oh, yeah, hey, how about the documents story? Censor that as well, which they did. The only ones that really covered that was Fox and other right-wing media. It's like, what? The mainstream narrative machine lies, 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 and more lies. Through their teeth all the time. That's why we can't trust them. So if you happen to listen to NBC, CBS, ABC News, MSNBC, CNN, Fox News even, you need to stop. You need to get your news somewhere else. Right? I can't give you all the news because I have a day job, folks. I wish I could. I wish I could be on this thing 24 hours a day giving you the facts. But I can't do that. But there are plenty of people just like me out there that are willing to tell the truth. Alternative media is the way to go these days. I have to do a butt ton of cross-referencing, right? I might read some of the story and then go and check a left-wing source, read some of that story, and go check a right-wing source just to get the facts sometimes. Sometimes I know the facts already coming in because I'll go and research it somewhere else away from news organizations because it mostly has to do with the government. So most of this information is already out there. But I digress. As a reminder, we did enable Do Not Promote for anti-vax books whose primary purpose is to persuade readers vaccines are unsafe or ineffective on 3/9, and will review additional handling options for these books and email between company employee states. Jordan, who chairs the House Judiciary Committee and Weaponization Subcommittee, revealed that both panels will investigate the alleged censorship effort. That's right. Amazon caved to the pressure from the Biden White House to censor speech, Jordan said in a tweet. Sounds like something I just said. Amazon did not respond to the Post's request for comment. In March, the Supreme Court will hear oral arguments in a lawsuit filed by attorneys general in Missouri and Louisiana alleging that the Biden administration colluded with social media companies to suppress the freedom of speech related to the COVID-19 pandemic. Last summer, a U.S. district court ruled that administration officials coerced companies, including Twitter and Facebook, to censor content over concerns it would lead to vaccine hesitancy. Why do they care so much about vaccine hesitancy? I never took the vaccine. I'm never going to take that damn vaccine. I don't want to take that vaccine. I've never had COVID. Knock on wood, probably never will. An appeals court later banned numerous White House officials, as well as the FBI Surgeon General's office and the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, from communicating with social media companies. The Supreme Court issued a temporary stay of the appeals court order last October until it decides the case. That's right. The courts found that, hey, you can't freaking do this. This goes against the First Amendment. However, the Supreme Court stayed that because they want to look into this a little bit further, right? Which, hey, that's understandable. However, because you stayed that, now the Biden administration can go and pressure all these companies to doing whatever the hell they want to do. The Biden White House gets to decide what you read. We can't have that, folks. These people are trying to destroy our country like this, one step at a time. Add another screw to the bin, add another grain of sand to the heap. Take it however you want. They are trying to destroy our company, and like I always say, it's time right now. It's been time for a while. We stand up and fight and say, no, we're not going to have this. You got to stop what you're doing. That is the only reason we need Donald Trump in the White House. We've got to have somebody in there that's going to say, no, we're not going to have none of this. Stop what you're doing. You can't do that. I'm sorry. That's the only reason I'm backing Trump. Trump did good, man. He did really good. But I was of the opinion that he's too divisive, right? The left goes absolutely nuts anytime he does anything. The guy can sneeze, and then they're calling for 25th Amendment to be invoked or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? It's like, they're like, oh, he needs to be taken out of office. He's senile. What? Look at the guy, man. He does rallies constantly. He's constantly on the road. That guy has more energy than I do. He's sharp, man. For being almost the same age as Joe Biden, Joe Biden's mental capacity has greatly degraded. The guy is a husk of his previous self. He's constantly getting people mixed up. He doesn't hardly even speak English anymore, y'all. He goes to just talking to them in a minute and you don't know what he's saying. And you can't understand the guy. And if you didn't know what I just said, you don't know what he's saying. But that's all I got for this one, y'all. I want y'all to let me know what y'all think about this down in the comment section. Because I really want to hear your input. You know, do you think it's okay for the White House to decide what we get to read and what we don't get to read, and who gets to post things on social media, and who gets to get promoted on social media? Because that's exactly what they were doing. If you had some right-wing commentator saying some stuff that the White House didn't like, they were like, hey, you might want to look into this guy to get him banned. Hey, could you take this post down for us? Hey, we don't like this person. Could you not promote their content, please? And these companies were doing it. Don't know why they were doing it. Why would you allow the White House to tell you what to do? That goes against my personal beliefs. I'm not going to say my religion, but that goes against my personal beliefs. I've always been a knucklehead. You could tell me, hey, if you jump off that cliff, you'll die. And I'm going to be like, prove it. Rest in peace. But y'all let me know what y'all think about it down in the comment section. And like I said, y'all, that's all I got. Thanks for watching, everybody. Y'all try to have a good day and be positive. And don't forget to hit the like. Peace.